Hey guys, this is going to be another video, guide video. It's going to be more of a tips and tricks based video though, much like my first tips and tricks based video, but this one's going to have some slight changes based on the more recent update. So, first of all, in the puzzles, as many of you may or may not have already done, I explained how to do puzzles, or the mindset that you should take when doing puzzles, in my last video. You can go check that out. I'll probably put a link in an annotation for you, but I'm assuming you already know how to do puzzles and maybe have solved one or two or more, I don't know, but there is a scenario where it can be pretty confusing if you don't know what to do right away. So as you can see right here, I've got almost this entire puzzle solved except for these three frogs. 1, 2, 3. Now those three are the exact same color, they're all in a row. The problem is they're not facing the same way. Well, that may seem like a big problem at first, but it's very easy to fix actually. What you've got to remember is that when you switch frogs, like when you tap and slide them, it also switches the direction they're facing. So actually, a good way to fix this in this situation would just be to go like this. Now those two are facing the same way, but this one's facing opposite. Now what do I do about that one? Well, if I go like this, I'll mess up the red one, but if I just move it back right away, look at that. Now they're all facing the right way. Oh, I don't really want that, so I'm going to say no. But do you see that? I just switched them and they were facing opposite ways. So you got to remember that no matter what way a frog is facing, if you slide it in a certain direction, it will always face the direction you slide it towards, and the frog you replaced with will always be facing the direction opposite of your slide. So that's a very good way to change the facing of frogs to get your puzzle to work. Alright, so that's the first tip slash trick that I was going to talk about in this video. The second one isn't really, it's just kind of a heads up type thing. The catalog is now somewhat obsolete. It's not as necessary anymore, because what they did is they made it possible to order frogs directly out of your FrogGdex. So if I wanted a maroon Tingo Anura, I could just come in here and order one for 510 coins. Well, that's pretty easy. Look at that. I can order any single one of these. That also gives you extra motivation to do the FrogGdex, so it's not entirely symbolic. Now it actually has a use, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, in theory, since I've already done all of the Anuras, I could get any color scheme I wanted just by going in here saying, I want a black Tingo Anura for the, black Tingo for the color scheme. So I would scroll down here, find, oh, there's black, and there's black Tingo, and then I would order that one, wait for it to arrive at my mailbox, and take it out, and it's already done. I don't have to do any breeding, nothing. And it only costed me 540 coins, which really isn't much when you get up there and have this many coins, or millions and millions of coins. It's not that big a deal. But yeah, it's pretty nice. For the more expensive frogs, it can get kind of ridiculous though. For example, if we were to scroll all the way down to the bottom, wait for this to load, and I was to click the most expensive one and try to order one that I've already had, look at that. To order a red Tingo Anura out of my FroggyDex will cost me 104,000 coins. That's 10 times the value of the frog, which is probably what it is for all of these frogs, or very close at least. But yeah, that's a lot of money. That I seriously doubt I'd be willing to pay that. I'd have to be very desperate to want to pay that. But it can be very useful for some of the cheaper ones, just for color schemes and such. That makes the catalog obsolete, because if you get a frog and then want to catalog it, instead of cataloging it, unless it's really expensive, you might as well just sell it, because you've already got the frog, it appears in your FrogDex, so you can just go back to your FrogDex anytime and order it. So yeah, that's just about everything on the catalog and the FroggyDex. But yeah, I think it's kind of cool that they created another motivation to get the catalog, or the FroggyDex, completed instead of just for looks. The second thing, or not the second thing, another thing that they changed was the awards. As you may or may not remember, down here in the rewards, these used to be complete, I don't know, what was it, 5% of the FrogDex, complete 15%, 50%, and 100%. The XP rewards for doing that are minuscule. I mean, 10k XP for completing the entire FrogDex, that's nothing. That's not worth it. They're still kind of small, but at least they made it better. They made it easier to achieve the ones they already put in. So as you can see, now instead of having 3 challenges left to complete, I only have 1 left to complete, which is collect 5,000 frogs in the FrogDex. You can see how many frogs you've already collected in the FrogDex by going into it and looking up at the top. Here you can see I've collected 1,257 frogs out of 14,720. So to complete the entire FrogDex, I still have like 13,500 to go, which, yeah, it's going to take me a while. And I'm about 1/5 of the way to completing that last challenge, so it's going to be a while before I even complete that one. But yeah, that's just kind of to show you what that's all about. The last part of the update was putting some new things in the Pro Shop and discounting some of the packages. That won't affect me at all because I never buy things out of the Pro Shop, but for some of you who are willing to spend the money, then I suppose it might be helpful. The Baby Proof Kit and the Express Mailbox are the 2 main things that they changed. The Express Mailbox cuts all mailing times of anything in half. So that's huge. You can buy it for $5. I'm still not going to buy it. The Baby Proof Kit is also $5, and that makes it so that you can take eggs out of your nursery and put them in any other habitat, just as if it was a hatched frog, which I can imagine being extremely useful. I've already seen other people doing this, and I'm assuming it's through hacks and glitches, which I tend to look down upon. That's just my opinion, though. It's not that big a deal if you do it. But yeah, that's just my opinion. They also, I believe, they discounted, maybe not. I thought they said that they had discounted the potion and stamp packages in the Pro Shop, but I suppose I could be wrong. I don't check the prices in there, so yeah, I could be wrong on that. But yeah, that's just about everything for this video, so I will see you guys later in my next video. Subscribe and like this video if you want to see more and want to be updated whenever I make a new one, and yep, see you later.